Hello, if we've never met before, my name is Rachel, and as you can hear, I'm on a walk, so there might be some noises outside. I hear airplane, I hear bird, I hear dog. But I want to talk about how to cultivate inner peace. A lot of people, it seems like everyone seeks this out, but I don't hear or see anyone talking about it. And I kind of know how to do it, or at least I can share a lot of my experiences and story and how I've gotten so much more comfortable with myself and finding an inner state of peace. And as always, my path or what my teachings that I want to share are going to be holistic, meaning they do look at the emotional health, the physical body, the mindset, and then also the spiritual level, right? Because there are all these levels and layers. So if we only try to fix a problem by going at it in one way, that's why we're not getting the result that we want. So first of all, too, without further ado, I think at Trader Joe's, there's a brand called Inner Peas, which is like dried pea, kind of like chips. So I just think it's funny, and I knew I was gonna say it at one point, but if you want to cultivate inner peas, you can go to, I think they're at Trader Joe's, but for your life, here we go. So as someone that experienced anxiety and depression, and going to therapy and taking a pill didn't help those go away for me. Something I really recommend to look into for emotional health is medical medium information. And I say that because, and as someone that if you have a bunch of toxins and chemicals and poisons in your system, it really affects your brain and your choices. And unfortunately, in today's modern world, we do just have a bunch of stuff in our bodies that are wreaking havoc that weren't there when we were more truly in touch with nature and we didn't have chemicals and toxins and plastics in our everyday lives. So, highly recommend that for kind of every symptom in your life, but that's really going to be about detoxing, and if you have chronic inflammation, because you're eating a lot of only processed foods and foods that have nitrates and nitrates and trites, and food that fills your stomach up but has no nutrition, it's a huge part of really feeling at peace in your body. Because if you have a body that isn't healthy and it's imbalanced, then you're never ever going to feel at peace. Okay, so kind of secondly, along with that, as we start to talk about the physical body, is understanding your wiring and trauma and the nervous system and the vagus nerve. So to various levels and degrees, we all have experienced stressors, and sometimes those stress loops don't become completed, like we don't truly process and integrate them. So we just go about life, and then when a similar stress occurs, that stress loop and that stress pattern can just be reactivated. So yes, it's important to go to therapy or learn thoughts and tools and tips and tricks of how you can think better. And you also have to rehack or rewire the amygdala, the emotional part of our brain, the older part of our brain that is having these certain stress responses. So I've been lucky enough to find locally things to rewire my subconscious and work on my vagus nerve. I've used a lot of chiropractors and kind of for that part in my journey. But you can do vagus nerve exercises and just research it and become more familiar with that. Because again, the more you can start to cultivate peace and activate the safety part of the nervous system in your body, then you're going to feel more at peace, right? You're not going to feel as anxious. You're not going to feel as scared despite the circumstances and stimuli that happen around you and that your brain reacts to. Thirdly, for physical body, like I'm on a walk right now. It's a fall day. It's a fall afternoon. The sun is out. I am getting outside to be in fresh air and getting my circadian rhythm balanced because I'm out with the sun. If you think about humans and how long we've been around, it's actually very new that we spent a lot more time indoors now with artificial lights and electricity. Our evolution and biology is way more used to and remembers waking up with the sun and going to bed at nighttime, right? We were more outside, we were more in villages, we were more in tune with nature. So there are studies that people have done because we don't live as natural life anymore on how nature is healing and soothing to the body and soul and mind and everything. Okay, so those are 3 beginning points, and then let's move over to the spiritual body. On my journey, I have really found it's been important for me to understand what I'm here to do as a soul. Because as I was a kid and became an adult, it just kept seeming and looking like that I don't really fit in and belong here. And I know a lot of people actually feel that way because there are a lot of disempowering narratives and beliefs and things and ideas that people spread around about what it means to be happy or be a successful human, right? Like, well, you can only have a nice house. Well, you have to make this much money. Well, you have to like be at a job that really makes you stressed out. Like, again, just a lot of things that don't actually support a healthy and happy nervous system. And then when I found more of the spiritual and soul aspects to my existence in this body at this time, I did become more empowered because I was like, oh, wait, okay. I know that I'm here to be a teacher for other people, and in order to be a powerful teacher, I have to go through these difficult experiences myself so that I can be more empathetic and know what I'm talking about and, really embody being that leader and person that I came here to be at this time. So I'm not saying that your story is exactly the same as mine, but it is more really zooming out from your daily life if you're not finding inner peace in what celebrities have taught you and what school taught you and what your family taught you. Like, there are other people that you can connect with to really understand who you are more. And remember that this is an infinite universe and there are lots of other energies and things at play that we're not even aware of. So in regards to cultivating inner peace, it can also be meaning and service in another area. It's kind of like working for a cause that's bigger than you. So what comes to mind is, working on the race gap or LGBTQ plus rights are another cause at this time, right? Helping people get a true voice and being able to show up how we probably take for granted, or volunteering to clean up garbage, or volunteering to help out an older person in your community, volunteering at other opportunities like being outside, or I've done like outdoor cleanups. I've tried to work at animal shelters and it didn't really work out, but even growing up, my teachers noticed, I guess, the leadership qualities in me at that time, but I was able to mentor. I was in 5th grade. I don't know what grade she was in, but I learned to like help her read a little bit more, like once a week on a morning. I didn't have to do what my fellow classmates were doing, and I got to go help her read, so really connecting to that bigger purpose of what you're here to do can really help you cultivate inner peace, because you're living a mission and a purpose that feels really good to you, instead of a lot of the habits and things to partake in that are very shallow and are just feeding kind of that next dopamine high and that next dopamine hit. If you want to break out of that cycle, you can. And you might go on a road that other people in your circle are not, like choosing to quit drinking or choosing to quit your job that you really hate. Or, which brings me to my next point, let's go into peace in relationships. And then again, connecting it to inner peace within yourself. Again, unfortunately, but fortunately, we're becoming more aware of this, that many people are in kind of negative or toxic relationship patterns. And what that can kind of look like would be friends, but I wouldn't really say they're your friends, that kind of bully you into doing something or making you feel bad for not wanting to do something or not spending time with them. Family dynamics, like, again, kind of ultimatum things, well, if you loved me, then you would blank, and do something that you're really not comfortable in doing, or it doesn't feel right or good to you to do. Or in intimate partnerships. I saw on Instagram this morning, it seemed like it was fake, but a guy started to go viral because he wasn't going to vote, and then his girlfriend was like, if you don't vote, I'm going to break up with you. Right? Like, very not peaceful interactions in regards to connecting with other people. What does peace look like in a relationship? Well, it's going to be, you can feel safe and secure. You feel like you can open up to them. You trust them. You want to spend time with them. You look forward to sharing your life or wins with them. They make you feel good, and you can lift each other up, not tear each other down. So the way you cultivate peace in relationships is choosing to create peace within your own self. Because then, when you feel peaceful on the inside, then peace will kind of be a byproduct in all of the relationships you choose to spend time in, you kind of become unshakable in your body and your being and your aura and your energy that you put out. So, like one of my favorite quotes is, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I have actually started to live that. Like in my Buddhist practice, which is more of like a philosophy, that really taught me, if you don't like a situation, you change it. And you have the power to change it. And you're a really powerful creator. So choosing to cultivate inner peace in your life will show up in your relationships, because you'll set boundaries and say, no, actually that doesn't feel good to me. Hey, I don't want you to treat me like that. Hey, when you treat me like that, I feel blank. Right? Again, it's this natural byproduct of, that's not okay. And then you are energetically saying to God or the universe or source, or just as a soul, just as a person, as an energetic being, you're saying, no, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. Right? So you'll finally break that pattern and that lesson, and you won't keep getting the same lesson over and over and over again, which is ideally what we want, because you want to create a different reality than the one you have now. And then we can move on to one other area, which we've kind of been touching on already, is mindset and beliefs and thoughts. So your mind is very, very powerful. And again, we have conscious beliefs and thoughts. And then we also have subconscious, which is kind of like our brain was a sponge from 0 to 7. It's taking in all of the world around us and creating meaning. So unless we only have empowering beliefs, which is not really always the case, it's never only the case, because our brain's job is to protect us. So it's really kind of wired for more like being on the lookout and, staying safe and staying alive, which might kind of put you into a little box and be scared and stuck, right? And keeping you from living the life and reality that you want to. So from my experience, those mindsets and beliefs and thoughts can start to change, especially if you do kind of go on that spiritual part of this quest in finding meaning in something bigger than you. Because you're going to see, oh wait, instead of choosing to believe what everybody else believes in situations and scenarios that arise, you can think critically, and you can think to yourself, does this align with my inner peace? Does this align with what I want? Is this going to bring me more safety, security, certainty? Or is it going to bring me, more of these trauma loops, this roller coaster of up and down, betrayal and not trusting each other, or self-sabotage and really, what's the word I want? Rejecting yourself, or rejecting different parts of you. Because if you accept all parts of you and integrate all parts of you, you again begin to see, what was I running away from for so long? It's really not that bad. Yeah, you might be uncomfortable for a little bit, but remember, liberation and inner peace and tranquility and serenity lies on the other side of that discomfort, of those uncomfortable feelings. And again, some people are not going to go on that path, and that sucks. And it's scary when you're just like, hey, come on, like, come believe this with me, right? It's going to feel isolating and lonely because not everybody is ready for that path. However, I walked it, and many mentors of mine have also walked on that path. And if you are seeking that next level of inner peace and you really want to change your life and become happier and healthier, that's kind of what you have to do. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you need any support. I do offer one-on-one coaching, healing, or readings, which is kind of like spiritual coaching, to help you on this path, because it's a lot and it does take time. It does take work, but if you want any takeaways from this, it is that you can transform your life and you can change your reality. So if you want to give it a try and at least start on that path, you can. It isn't going to be a one and done fix it Band-Aid though. I did that kind of work that I talked about for 5+ years. And again, that's not going to be everybody's path, but just be realistic about it's going to take time and commitment. So I'm sending you a lot of love. Namaste. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.